Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 124 of my wrestling recap show, where once a week I go through all of the major WWE and AEW shows, give you the review, let you know what's going on storyline-wise, and at the end of the show, I give out my 3 stars of the week, awarding my 3 favorite matches that I witnessed with my eyeballs. And when there is a major pay-per-view for either of the companies, I'll do a separate pay-per-view review, just like there will be, I think it's Dynasty, AEW this week, so I'll do some predictions and all that good stuff as well. So let's dive into the recap. We got Monday Night Raw in Montreal, Canada. Oh, baby, this should be good. But we got to start out with some bad stuff. It's the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, with her arm in a sling. Oh no, Rhea looks very unhappy, and that's not, I mean, she looks way more than just unhappy, but she should be, because Rhea Ripley must vacate the title. No. Ripley rips into Liv Morgan for attacking her from behind last week. Liv Morgan comes out, security steps in between them. Ripley takes out her rage on one singular security guard, because fuck that guy in particular. Well, that sucks, bro. That is beyond upsetting to have Rhea Ripley's reign end like this. You never want to see a championship taken away because of injury. It is just so devastating. This really reminds me of the Drew McIntyre. His whole damn WWE career lately has just been devastating, but he had a very similar thing happen to him with the NXT Championship. He had that taken away when he just won it, but this freaking sucks, man. I don't know if I read something that Liv Morgan has a little bit of heat on her. That's why I just stay away from that stuff, because I don't know if it's real or part of the storyline. So, but yeah, man, this absolutely sucks to have the reign end like that. Rhea does cut a hell of a promo to, leave us with something, an amazing championship reign for Ripley, and what she did with that year as champion with a Judgment Day been amazing. She won my female wrestler of the year. Not just mostly because of her work in Judgment Day and all the stuff she does outside of the ring. In the ring, she's great, but thumbs up for that promo. Judgment Day greet mommy backstage, give her a big ol' hug, and send her on her way. So get well soon. I didn't see any timeline yet. It's probably going to be a few months, but yeah, I will say it one more time. That sucks. And here he comes. He is back, everybody. It is Sheamus, and he is tubby. Oh my goodness. I looked over at my wife. I was like, does he look fat? She's like, oh yeah, he looks fat. And I saw a post that he put out making fun of himself like he always does. He's like, oh, they called me back early and, I wasn't in shape. So I imagine Sheamus will have a 6-pack in no time. But yeah, that was a little woof. And what a freaking quiet comeback too. Absolutely not the comeback that Sheamus deserves. Very lukewarm. Just didn't feel right. I felt bad for Sheamus, honestly. I think everyone was just in shock at how he looked. Anyway, he does have a match going on here versus Ivar. Sheamus with an avalanche white noise. Shows off the power that he has. Ivar spinning back kick and a top rope splash. Sheamus kicks out of that. Sheamus with the anti-air knee strike pulls down his knee pad to deliver a kneecap, is what he's calling it. He hits the bro kick and Sheamus wins in his return. Hooray! But yeah, so good to have Sheamus back. He was gone for 8 months. I thought he was going to AEW. Maybe other people did too. My wife was 100%. And I don't know, but her intel was wrong. But yeah, Sheamus has added some knee strikes to his arsenal. Ivar back to being a Viking on Mondays anyway. I don't know about Tuesdays. He might not be a Viking then. But good work from Ivar as always. The match was solid, but yeah, just not the reception I was hoping for Sheamus. So we'll see how it goes for him next week. But of course, great to have Sheamus back. He's one of my favies. And now here he comes. It is Triple H. He comes out for a massive ovation from Montreal. Triple H and Adam Pearce want to bring in new tag team championships. The champions come out, It's R-Truth and The Miz. They come out to a loud "You Deserve It" chant, and of course, mostly for R-Truth. Even Miz is just like pointing at him. It's like, not for me, man, and thumbs up for that. Triple H then unveils the new World Tag Team Championships, and I must say, they are sharp, daddy. I like them. I like them a lot. Might actually be the nicest looking tag team championships in a long time. I can't remember ones that I liked more than these ones. Like maybe the Attitude Era Edge and Christian Dudley boys. That one was pretty good, but these ones are like really, really nice. I am impressed. They look great. R-Truth loses his mind. He thinks it's a magic trick and mistakes Triple H for Tommaso Ciampa. Great segment. Titles look great. I'm curious to see how many other rebrands for championships they're going to do. United States just had one. Like, what are they going to do? Like, they gave Cody the new one, so it looks like they're keeping the big W, which I'm not a fan of. The World Heavyweight Championship it looked like a preview of the Triple H stuff, so that one's been rebranded. Yeah, so far so good. I like it. We move now to a triple threat match for the World Tag Team Championships. This is a number one contenders match. We got DIY, Gargano, and Ciampa versus Julius and Brutus, the Creed Bros, and versus The New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods. Getting into the action, the Creeds catch DIY, and then New Day hit a dual dive, wipes out everybody. Just carnage. New Day with a unique combo, famouser thingy. DIY meet in the middle on Xavier, and DIY win the match and are number one contenders for the World Tag Team Championships. Damn. I love that it was an actual triple threat. They generally trick us with this. Like, oh, it's a triple threat tag team match, and then it's just two guys in the ring. This one, they had one member from all three teams in there at the same time, which is, you gotta do that if you're gonna call it a friggin' triple threat. And yeah, just a carousel of chaotic offense from all three teams. Really enjoyable match. 7.5 out of 10. We got McIntyre watching the CM Punk footage from last week. He blows a gasket and kicks a TV into a new dimension. Drew, you gotta settle down, dog. We move on. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. Referee misses Maxine's tag to Ivy. Indy boots Maxine in the face. Candice grabs the pinfall. Indy and Candice grab the W. Pretty solid tag match here. It was quick, not much going on. Hartwell looking very frustrated with Candice until they won, because winning fixes everything. So I guess as long as they're winning, Indy will get over Candice being a bitch. But yeah, nice performance from Maxine. Sadly, I don't think Ivy even got into this match. I think that was the whole point. But yeah, it was short, not much going on. Judgment Day now backstage. They're hyping up Dom for his match. Finn wonders why he and Damian aren't going after the World Tag Team titles anymore. Priest uses his big boy voice, tells Finn to go out there and rough up Jey Uso before their match at Backlash. Finn says, I'm good with this, so yeah, alright, we're good. And Priest really solidifying himself as the leader now in Judgment Day. He doesn't have Rhea Ripley anymore to kind of stop him from taking over, so now is as good a time as any for that to go down. Sadly, I would have loved to have Rhea there to battle it out. Like, I would feel like Damian trying to grab control and Ripley trying to be like, no, we're all in charge kind of thing. That would be cool, but maybe when she comes back, and then they continue that. But right now, Damian Priest, he's the man. We have a matchup next, Andrade versus Dom Mysterio with the Judgment Day. Dom nails a wicked Canadian destroyer on the apron. Goodness gracious, thumbs up for that. Crowd goes nuts. Dom trash-talking Andrade, goes for the 619, takes a beautiful fake-out elbow instead from Andrade. Andrade nails the message and picks up the W. Solid quick match right here. McDonough immediately jumps Andrade to satisfy Damian Priest's earlier demands. Yeah, another short match. Not enough really to gauge, but there's definitely chemistry here between Andrade and Dom. That Canadian Destroyer was ridiculous. We got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Kaden Kata and Katana Chance. Fuck yeah. Piper catches Chance, throws her out of the ring, and then squashes Kaden, saving Chelsea Green in the process. Green rolls up Kaden for the W. Another solid quick tag team match. I am hoping that both teams have a good year and be healthy, especially the whole women's tag team division. And I would like that division to get more love this year. Like, the men's tag team division is popping off. It is deep. We need some more women's tag teams, like legit ones. And these are 2 legit ones. Former tag team champions. And yeah, let's get some more of that. We have Liv Morgan backstage. She's upset that the fans didn't give Liv any sympathy when Rhea Ripley injured Liv Morgan, putting her on the shelf for 8 months. Well, that's simple, Morgan. Not as many people like you. I don't like you that much. You're getting better, but it's Rhea Ripley. Come on now. We move on. Universal Champion Cody Rhodes. He asks the very rowdy crowd what they would like to talk about. They discuss his potential opponents, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. Cody is impressed with The Rock's training regimen for WrestleMania. He thinks that The Rock has a lot more in the tank. I agree. Yeah, I was really impressed as well, especially with the heel side of it. Great job. Cody invites Jey Uso to the ring. The crowd is dancing in unison with Jey Uso and Pat McAfee, who's always dancing on the table. Friggin' awesome. Thumbs up. Cody offers to be in Jay's corner. Jay says, "Nah, dog, I got this." They both yeet and all is well. Good entertaining promo, Montreal. Crowd's going nuts. They're having themselves a ton of fun. Thumbs up for that. We got Nia Jax. She is interviewed, says there are 2 types of people, those who fear Nia Jax and those who will learn to fear Nia. All right, we move on. Finn Balor now versus Jey Uso. Balor's sneak attack on Uso before the bell. Finn Balor using the dirty tactics to keep Uso grounded. Jey avoids the stomp, hits a spear out of nowhere. Uso splash. Uso win. Solid quick match. Priest appears out of nowhere, drops Uso, and then Judgment Day beat up on Jey. Uso manages to escape through the crowd, and then he walks all the way through the concourse, out the doors, to find Sami Zayn standing there just looking up at the Bell Center in his own little world. Sami getting hyped up. He walks into the arena, just hums a recycling bin across the freaking room as fans start to swarm around Sami Zayn, the champion. Sami then walks out into his hometown crowd, the camera catching an epic view of the crowd cheering for their hometown hero. One of the sickest entrances ever. I'm getting chills just talking about it right now. That camera work, just the long shot, brilliant. Great stuff. Double thumbs up. I am in love with all that. We move on to the main event now. It is the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defending for the first time versus Chad Gable. We get Sami with a lovely springboard moonsault to the outside, and he sticks the landing, makes it look so friggin' easy. Gable hits an avalanche angle slam. Gable and Sami taking turns, German suplexing each other. That was hilarious. Like, I'm going for it. No, now I'm going for it. Take it. Sami with the final suplex dumps Gable right on his head. Goodness gracious. And then we get Sami Zayn. He tweaks his ankle, something in his leg. It looks real. Like something's really wrong here. I don't know. Gable applies the ankle lock now on the injured leg. Sami counters out, hits the exploder in the corner, haluva kick, and Sami retains. Really good main event match. Crowd was just banana. Absolutely banana for Sami Zayn. Hard-hitting fight. Sami was bleeding. Not a lot, just a little bit of blood. And Sami Zayn. What do we say about this guy? Outstanding selling. Hopefully he's not actually hurt. I don't know if he was selling so good that he sold me on that injury, but I was really nervous. Like, the tone of the match changed after that tweak. Like, it seemed to get cut off pretty quickly, but could be wrong. Hopefully he's okay. Chad Gable, also awesome performance. His chemistry with Sami is awesome. 7.5 out of 10. Zayn celebrating his victory, and then it happens. Chad Gable, out of nowhere, just brutally attacks Sami in front of his family and friends, and oh my goodness, heel Chad Gable is back in swing. I don't know if he never actually really left. He's kind of just been in limbo. Like, he's been a heel, so good of a heel, became a babyface. Now he's just a dickhead heel. So we'll see if he's bringing Alpha Academy along, or if this is straight up singles Chad Gable right here. Regardless, maybe this is like This could be the Kurt Angle run for him, where maybe he unlocks something new for Chad Gable. I'm excited, but don't do that to Sami Zayn, especially in front of his wife. Jeez, who's been getting free front row tickets for every one of his matches lately? Goodness, must be nice. Anyway, end of the show. Really good Raw with a fantastic crowd, as always, in Montreal. Oh, Toronto's better, just saying. Anyway, thumbs up for y'all in Montreal. Ripley vacating the title fucking sucks, man. But her promo was great. Priest looking to carry more of that leadership responsibility now in Judgment Day. We'll see how that goes. I don't hate it so far. It's very early. Love the new tag team titles. Again, I'm just wondering what other titles are going to get that rebrand. I feel like it's safe to say the other SmackDown titles will get the same rebrand. Sheamus is back. Awesome. It just didn't feel all that big of a welcome back for him. I was disappointed in that. And, looks a little tubby. He's one of the only guys that left and didn't come back shredded. Like, AJ Styles left, came back looking bigger than ever. Randy Orton, same thing. Like, what happened, Sheamus? Like, I'm not giving him shit. I'm just like everyone else is, but I think he looks good. He's awesome. I love you, Sheamus. Wrestling was good throughout this show. Uso's exit transitioning into Sami Zayn's entrance, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They've teased this camera work stuff before, where they try this different stuff, and it's really cool. I want it to stick around. 7.5 out of 10 for Monday Night Raw. We'll slide now to NXT, and we're kicking off the show with Noam Dar with the Metaphor versus my boy, it's Dijak. Dijak hurls Noam Dar out of the ring, and Dijak huge sit-out chokeslam. Dar kicks out of that. Dar nice fisherman buster driver transitions into the armbar. That was lovely. Dar's stiff spinning back elbow. Dijak answers with a wicked discus boot. Metaphor, here they come with the distractions. Dijak falls for it. Dar nails the Nova roller and picks up the W. As always, yet another opponent Dijak has chemistry with right out of the gate. Good chemistry, really good match, stiff strikes, heavy offense from Dijak. To be continued? I hope so. 7.5 out of 10. NXT champion sets up a open challenge. First man to look into the eyes of Ilya Dragunov will get an ass kicking. I like it, hell yeah. We get a good video package of a unhinged Tatum Paxley, who is no longer a fangirl for Lyra Valkyria. So we're getting this character craziness development is starting to happen now. I'm in for it. Pretty good. We got Lola Vice versus Sol Ruka up next. Ruka, nice standing moonsault splash. And then Davenport knocks Ruka off of the rope. Lola nails a spinning back kick to the head and grabs a W. It was kind of a quick match right here, not much. Ruka showing off some power moves along with her athletics. Nothing really new. Lola, nothing new for Lola. Sol Ruka, pretty good. So showing off a little more power. Decent performance overall. Natalya appears on screen and challenges Lola to an NXT Underground Rules match. Oh damn, will Shane McMahon be there? I hope not. We get Gigi Dolan. She learns etiquette from Ariana Grace. First, Ariana wants to get Dolan a new outfit that's just not all black. Fair enough. Gigi is less than enthusiastic about this. Ariana gives Georgina, she's calling her, I love that. She gives her a fancy dress to try on. Gigi gives the dress some Gigi flair. Comes out looking just fantastic. She looks great. Everyone settle down. Dolan makes Ariana pay for everything and runs off with the dress. I was going to say jacket for some reason. A good segment right here. I like this. Well produced. Yeah, it really displayed the character of the two and possibly a brewing tag team with the odd couple situation going on. I would like that. Good segment. Thumbs up. Oh no, here he comes again. It's Ridge Holland versus Joaquin Phoenix, or Wild, my bad. Wild runs into a pounce from Holland. This pleases me, Holland. You do a pounce, this makes me happy. Sean Spears shows up on the stage to stare at Holland. Holland plants Wild with a hammerlock DDT for a quick W. Match was meh. Holland storms past Spears with zero acknowledgement. So, okay, we're doing this still. Mr. Chase has a chat with Thea Hale backstage. Chase says he meant well by betting on Thea Hale last week. Chase truly thought that Hale was going to win the match. Thea Hale breaks down and forgives her teacher. Aw, there we go. Everything is back in the good books with Chase U for now. Just stop gambling, for goodness sakes, Mr. Chase. We move on. The Dawn of NXT looking sharp as fuck with the family. D'Angelo's promo is cut off by Dempsey and the No Quarter Catch Crew. Dawn says he likes the look of the NXT Heritage Championship thing cup. Dempsey offended by this, that a 2-bit gangster wants his Heritage Cup. That's it. A brawl breaks out. Advantage family. Tony D switching sites to the Heritage Cup now. I'm good with that. That's fine. I mean, it was a quick shot. I don't think he may not have impressed at that level yet. So yeah, give him the mid-tier championship. Let him chase that. Good promo from the Dawn. Dempsey was a little bit clumsy. I wasn't really feeling it. We move on. We have numerous superstars fighting to get into the ring with Ilya Dragunov for the Open Challenge. But it's Javon Evans fucking flying in out of nowhere. He answers the challenge. Let's get it on. Evans nails the champion with a stiff kick to the throat right out of the gate. How you doing? Evans counters Spanish Fly, gets a near fall on the champion. Dragunov chops Javon out of the air, then delivers a knee to the face, and the kid kicks out. Ilya with a gnarly corner driver, torpedo Moscow, and the champion wins. Oh, baby, great breakout performance from Javon Evans. My. Selling was fantastic. That's the great thing about these young guys. They don't feel as much pain yet, so they're just throwing their bodies all over, and that's what Evans was doing. Great selling. Dragunov very giving to the rookie in this match. Evans having a competitive fight against the champion, and that's how new stars get made, man. You put them in good positions, you show how good they are, and then people know. They won't know if you just put them in squash match after squash match. Like, all right, give us something to chew into, and this, oh, buddy, I am excited for Javon Evans. 8 out of 10, great start for the kid, and the future looks bright for Javon Evans, man. Whew. We move on. Sol Ruka demands to have Blair Davenport in a no DQ match. Ava says, yeah, sure, fine, no problem. I got you, family. We move on. Thea Hale with Chase U versus Tatum Paxley. Jasmine Nix distracts the referee so JC Jane can trip up Hale, allowing Paxley to pick up the W. This match wasn't really a match. It was just kind of used to heat up multiple rivalries. You got the Hale and Jane thing. That continues. And Valkyria now, she jumps Paxley in the ring after the bell. So there you go. We got some more beef between those two. We move on. NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez thinks that the GM Ava Raine is conspiring against the champion to make her lose her title. Pretty good paranoid promo right here from Roxanne. I like it. Now we have the AOP. They're back in NXT. Akeem and Razor with the Final Testament versus Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. We get a pretty awesome throw and catch into a nasty corner driver from AOP. Just, oh my goodness. Idris eats a nasty tandem go-to-sleep type move. Blade hot tag, goes for a dive, but gets caught and thrown into Enofe. That was fantastic. Thumbs up for that. We get the Super Collider and AOP in dominating fashion just destroy Blade and Enofe. AOP looking absolutely unstoppable in this one. I love the tag team offense of AOP. It's so mean and brutal. I love their moves so much. Super Collider's so sick and just catching and throwing people into each other. Just fuck yeah. Blade and Enofe, great selling in this one. Good squash match. It is a squash match, but Blade and Enofe are not nobodies. They don't win a lot in NXT, no, but they're definitely a quality team. 7 out of 10. Good shit. We have Ivar now going up against Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs barely medically cleared for this match, so let's just get into this. Ivar nails the Doomsault, damn near squishes Briggs' head, and that's it. Ivar wins. good, hard-hitting, competitive match right here. A little bit short, but I think they did a lot with the time that they had. Briggs picking up Ivar a whole bunch of times in this match. I think he did it too many times too quick because some of the slams weren't great. But these two could have a better match with some more time. This could build into a good rivalry, or they could just be using it to try and elevate Josh Briggs. But yeah, not bad. Really good start if this is going to be a rivalry. Main event time. We have a steel cage match. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. The rematch in a cage now. Melo has a security out there, and they give him a nightstick through the cage to beat Trick Willie with. Trick battles back, throws Melo into all four sides of the steel cage. Willie hits a nice spinning kick on the money. Trick's security begin to climb into the cage. Trick fights them off and avoids Melo's chair shot, nails Melo in the face with the trick shot and a steel chair to the face for the victory. Damn. Pretty good main event right here. Cage, for me, didn't add a lot. They weren't using it all that much. Like, he got thrown into it a bit. No big jump or anything off of the top of the cage. Like, it didn't really matter all that much, honestly. Pretty similar to their match as well that they had at Stand and Deliver, so didn't quite hit as much for me. Trick now with 2 wins in a row versus Carmelo. So is that going to be it now for their feud? Like, generally, when you win 2 in a row, a steel cage match and a pay-per-view match. So I would feel they can move on to this, especially if Carmelo is going to get drafted up. They can finish that story, but if this is how it finishes, I don't know, maybe they will keep it going. We'll have to see. And that's the end of the show. Good show this week. Ridge Holland continues to bore me to tears. Lola Vice, still looking for more out of her. I don't know. She hasn't hit that next gear quite yet. I'm looking for it, though. I'm rooting for her. I enjoyed Gigi Dolan's and Ariana Grace's segment. I would like more of those. You know, they're not like highly produced, but like stuff that is outside of the ring. Like, they're going to stores and stuff. That's key. We got Tatum Paxley's character getting good now that she's unleashed on Valkyria. We'll see how that rivalry pans out. Thea and Jane continue to heat up as well. And the wrestling, pretty good overall. Dijak, yet another good match. That could lead to great matches, I would imagine. Javon Evans was awesome. He had a great match versus the champion. And hopefully that happens more. Like Ilya having the open challenge and giving like guys that need a bump up. Like, they're not going to win, but give him a good match. Ilya's not afraid to make you look good and beat the shit out of you. 7 out of 10 for NXT. And now we go to SmackDown in Pittsburgh. We're kicking it off with the Universal Championship #1 contenders match. It's LA Knight, versus AJ Styles again. LA Knight setting up the BFT with some odd clapping gestures. I don't like it. AJ counters, pokes LA Knight in the eye, nails the phenomenal forearm, pins, and wins. AJ Styles is the #1 contender, and he will face Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship. Damn. Solid match. I would have to say their weakest one out of the trilogy I think they've had now. Really just a copy and paste from their other matches, just AJ Styles wins this time. It was fine. We move on. It's Solo Sikoa. He rolls up dressed very sharply with his new homie, calling him MFT. I don't know, that Tongatoa Haku man. Paul Heyman greets Solo, but Sikoa only wants to know where Kevin Owens is. Paul Heyman is afraid. We move on. GM Nick Aldis brings out Triple H to show off the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Tag Team Champions Waller and Theory are brought out and presented the new WWE Tag Team Championships, which look freaking dope. They have the same little, I don't know, like that shape that it had in the Ruthless Aggression SmackDown Championship era. Love it, but they gave it the full gold branding. Like, yeah, man, these things look awesome. Waller and Theory acting like douchebags. They don't shake Triple H's hand, so Nick Aldis flips the hell out on them. And yeah, so I like those championships. What do you think of the new rebranded Tag Team Championships? I think it's maybe the best look they've ever had for those titles. So I'm into them, but what do you think? We move on. Naomi is interviewed backstage. Naomi is pumped for her title match versus Bayley later tonight, and she is looking for her first singles gold in years. It has been a long time. We move on to the Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders tag team match. Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford versus NCR, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne versus Legado, Garza, and Berto versus AOP, Akeem, and Razor. NCR and Street Profits teaming up on AOP. They help out Tyler with the airplane spin, but stupid Legado ruined the fun and it all falls down, but that was sick. That was a good time. Big Tower, a doom spot, everyone's down. Legado throw Bait off of the top, wipes out everybody. We get a pounce and blockbuster of doom by the Profits. Last second save there by Dunn. NCR with the dual moonsault dive with Dawkins doing his dive over the post at the same time. Everyone's down again. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Thumbs up for that. Profits hit the revelation on Garza, pins, and wins. Street Profits are number 1 contenders. That was awesome. That was awesome. Wasn't actually a Fatal 4-Way with 4 guys in there, but it felt like it. The action was chaotic. Teams are all over the place. I don't know who was legal and who wasn't. Tons of great tag team offense. Big spots. There was stiffness in there. Just a really good highlight and spotlight for the tag team division yet again, which is bumping right now. 8.5 out of 10. We got Paul Heyman now. He's trying to reason with Solo Sikoa. He tells Solo to just wait and the bloodline will come to him. It'll all be his one day. You just gotta wait a little longer. Solo ignores Heyman's advice. He goes out to the ring, and then Heyman's promo is rudely cut off by Solo talking about his MFT, and then a heavily bloodied Kevin Owens, he falls out onto the stage with Tonga Tola strolling out behind him. Oh dear. Solo trash-talking Kevin, he denies medical attention and tries to get into the ring. Owens beaten down even more. Heyman looking on in horror as he just can't control Solo right now. Nick Aldis has to step in to save Kevin Owens. Solo and Tonga leave for now. Aldis shows Heyman that somebody, probably Solo and Tonga, crashed up some cars in the parking lot. There's just 2 smashed up cars. Heyman just at a loss for words. He's like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, that was just a huge moment here for Solo and Tonga. Owens, one of WWE's toughest guys, just getting brutalized by Tonga, really shows that he is a big new threat in the WWE. And Solo just going full rogue mode right now. I am loving this. Really fun with Paul Heyman just lost control. I'm loving this. Thumbs up. And there was blood. So much blood. So you know Triple H is back. That guy loves blood. So I don't know if we're going to see a lot of blood on a regular basis, but I don't even want it on like all the time, but in moments like this, very well done use of the blood. So thumbs up for all that. Now we move on to a match. It's Carlito with the LWO versus Santos Escobar with Legado. Selena, sick of Lopez's shenanigans, goes for a Rana. She gets caught by Lopez and then sorta slammed in the barricade. Doesn't look very good. We get a Phantom Driver by Escobar and he wins. Pretty not that awesome of a match. Just, it was whatever. We move on. Damage Control is interviewed in the nosebleeds. Dakota is cut off by Cargill and Bianca, who also appear in the nosebleed section beside Damage Control. A little bit of trash talking ensues before the main event match. WWE Women's Championship on the line. Bayley defending against Naomi. Bayley and Naomi collide hard into each other, both women down. Bayley, lovely top rope elbow drop. Naomi is able to kick out of that. Both women going shot for shot. Fight spills to the outside. And then Tiffany Stratton yucks the yum, attacking Naomi and Bayley. The match is disqualified. Stratton with the prettiest moonsault on both Bayley and Naomi. Cargill and Bianca look on in anger. Shouldn't have went in the nosebleeds. You're too far. You can't help. It's Tiffy time for sure, though, getting a big push, deservingly so. She's right there in the main event scene. Match was pretty good, familiar foes with smooth performance, a bit of stiffness thrown in there as well. I like that. Nice technical wrestling out of Naomi, a lot of counters and shit. That was good, 7 out of 10. Would have been a lot better without the disqualification at the end, obviously. And that's the end of the show. Really good SmackDown this week. Some matches were a little forgettable. Carlito and Santos. And the AJ Knight, LA Knight match was underwhelming. It just kind of, their little trilogy just went downhill, not drastically, but they didn't improve on their matches. So they're probably done with each other for a little bit here. The 4-way tag team match, though, that was dope. Title rebrand, better than I expected. I thought they were just going to use the same championships, but I love that they went back for the SmackDown Ruthless Aggression era. That is awesome. Loving Solo Sikoa's transition into taking control of the bloodline. Huge statement show for Solo and Haku, Tonga, whatever. The world title match for the main event. That's huge to have a world title match like that. Sadly spoiled by Tiffany, but the women's division looking pretty good right now. Now Tiffany's in there, like Cargill. Yeah, it's looking good. 7.5 out of 10 for SmackDown. And now we roll over to AEW. I wanted to do my Dynasty predictions, but at this point, I've already watched Dynasty, so that would be a little redundant, wouldn't it? So let's just dive into the Dynamite recap in Indiana, or is it Indianapolis? I think it's Indianapolis. We got the new IWGP World Champion Jon Moxley. He cuts a promo. Mox reminds everybody that AEW is all out. Mox calls out the Don Callis family for going after his boy, Bryan Danielson. Calls out Powerhouse Hobbs for a fight. And yeah, good fired up promo from Moxley to kick off the show. And I will say, I don't like the look of the IWGP belt right now. It's too, pointy. It's way too pointy. Anyway, we move on. Mercedes Moné, quick message for that bitch, Julia Hart. Moné looking forward to fighting Julia when she is healthy. We get a mixed tag team match up next. Edge and Willow Nightingale teaming up together versus Brody King and Julia Hart. Willow is jumped before the match. The lights go out. King and Julia appear to sneak attack Edge before the bell. Edge, wild eyes, fires up the crowd and himself, only to get his head taken off with a huge lariat from Brody. That made me giggle. Willow makes her way back to the ring, gets the hot tag to Edge. Willow comes in and wipes out Brody with a crossbody. That was awesome. And then Edge spear to Brody, and Willow nails Brody with his own cannonball. That was spectacular. Thumbs up for that. Julia hits Willow with some sort of object, knocking her out cold. Julia locks in the Heartless, and House of Black grab the W. Pretty good mixed tag team match right here. Love Willow fighting with Brody. I love that kind of stuff. Mercedes Moné, she runs out to protect Willow from Julia's sneak attack after the bell. House of Black retreat, and Willow and Mercedes have themselves yet another stare-off, continuing to tease what is hopefully going to be just an outstanding match. Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale. Oh, buddy, I cannot wait for that one. We get Samoa Joe. He is interviewed, called Swerve Strickland a punching bag not worthy of being champion. Joe says he's going to choke out Swerve and retain at Dynasty. We shall see. We have the Young Bucks. They're still running the show backstage. They cut off their own promo package, start trash-talking FTR, and then we move into a trios tag. I wish they would play with that a little bit more, with the Bucks kind of running the show back there. I do like that they cut off their own promo package, like, it's not good enough, not good enough. So we get the trios tag, Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, and Okada versus Danny Garcia, Penta, and Pac. Garcia thrusting in Matthew's face. Matthew gets his revenge, thrusting violently all up on Pac and Danny. That was hilarious. Thumbs up for that. Matt takes a microphone, providing play-by-play for the crowd. Also hilarious. Pac is knocked off of the top rope, takes a hard bump there. Okada ends Garcia with the Rainmaker, the Elite win. Very entertaining trios tag, thanks to Matthew's antics throughout. Those were awesome. And Garcia's thrusting, also awesome. Nice tag team action and a little preview in there with Pac versus Okada. That was nice. The Elite attack Garcia after the bell, slamming Danny on a ladder. Pac chases off the Elite with a hammer. Goodness gracious. We move on. Now it is time for Taz to mediate a meeting between Hook and Chris Jericho in the ring. Jericho wants Hook to learn under Jericho's wisdom tree. Hook is eating chips. He says, no. Taz says, calm down. Jericho tells Taz to stop it. Jericho tells Hook he needs Jericho or else. Taz tells Chris again, calm down, and Jericho loses it. He shoves Taz down, and quite the tumble there for Taz. That was funny. You fucked up Chris Jericho chants. Hook tells Chris to get out of the ring, and the crowd gives the na-na-na-nas goodbye to Jericho. Yeah, I don't like this Jericho Hook experiment. Not good. This segment was Hopefully Taz whoops Jericho's ass. That would be, like, maybe the only highlight out of this thing. There's no chemistry here. I don't like Hook's character all that much. Like, he's just this, I don't know, like, basically just a punk kid, and Jericho wanting to teach them. Like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it at all. It doesn't sound like the crowds for feeling it. Yeah, I didn't like this segment. We get Swerve Strickland. He responds to Joe's claims that Swerve is a choke artist. Strickland says he will put those claims to rest at Dynasty. Again, we shall have to wait and see. Mariah May with Tony and Luther versus Deonna Purrazzo next. Mariah mean hip attack and tornado DDT. Get a near fall there. Mariah goes for Mayday. Deonna counters into a roll-up. Pins and wins. Solid competitive match here. Nice counters and technical wrestling. Tony immediately attacks Deonna after the bell. Thunder Rosa runs down, argues with Purrazzo, and then Rosa goes after Tony, pins her down, and then applies lipstick all over Tony, roughing up the champion and sending her running away. My goodness, that was some good stuff right there from Thunder Rosa. We get the Ring of Honor Trios champions, Jay White and the Ass Boys. They challenge the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass for the belts, and they want to have a belt for belt match. AEW Trios titles for the Ring of Honor Trios titles. Daddy and the Acclaimed respond. They accept the challenge. Max Caster also calls Jay White Jay Twinkblade. So that's interesting. We move on. Orange Cassidy versus Shane Taylor with Shane Taylor Promotions. Taylor, nice rope-assisted stunner, places Orange's hands in his own pockets for him, and then delivers a heavy strikes to a defenseless Orange Cassidy. My goodness. Orange hits the Slumdog Millionaire, shot for shot with Shane. That's not a great idea. Cassidy nails the Orange Punch right on the money and knocks Taylor out cold. Orange wins. Shane Taylor Promotions attack Orange after the bell. Seidel and Daniels runs down to help, but they get stopped by Trent Beretta with a chair shot to the both of them. Brutal beatdown continues on Cassidy. A flag is placed over Cassidy's beaten body. Damn, that was a good match. 7 out of 10. Main event time. Will Ospreay versus Claudio Castagnoli. My God. Ospreay dived to the outside, is caught by Claudio, and slammed hard on the apron. Ospreay smooth backflip over Claudio, nails a super kick, Tiger Driver combo. We get another near fall. Ozcutter is caught by Claudio into a gnarly driver. Ospreay ridiculous counter DDT out of Claudio's swing. That was just silly. Thumbs up for that counter. Tornado splash off of the top rope from Ospreay. Claudio kicks out of that. Ospreay hidden blade finally puts down Claudio for the big W. Banger of a main event match. Great mix of power, high flying and technical wrestling, hard hitting, of course, and the wild near falls. Constant pace throughout. My goodness. Banger of a match. 8.5 out of 10. Don Callis family attack Claudio after the bell. I swear this is happening after every single match tonight. Always getting attacked after the bell. Moxley runs down to back up Claudio, fighting off Powerhouse. Ospreay is pissed off at the Don Callis family. All right, we move on. Swerve Strickland cuts a promo on Samoa Joe. Says Joe is scared. He's going to lose that championship to Swerve. Calls Joe's sweet tooth ass to the ring. Security separates both men until Swerve soars like an eagle and takes out security, lands like a badass in front of Joe. Thumbs up for that. Brawl begins, both men getting in good offense, but it's Samoa Joe standing tall at the end of Dynamite. Ooh. That's the end of the show. Good Dynamite heading into Dynasty. That Hook Jericho segment really fell flat. No one was feeling that. Good job adding in more heat between Joe and Swerve. Lots of trash talking and attacks after matches throughout this show. Big brawl at the end between Swerve and Joe was pretty good. Solid job touching on most of the ongoing rivalries. Going into Dynasty, Matt Jackson. Oh my god, Matthew Jackson. Really killing it right now as this corrupted vice president. Super entertaining lately. Nick has been not as good. Wrestling good for a go-home show. Ospreay versus Claudio was ridiculous. 7 out of 10 for Dynamite. And now we go to Collision in Peoria. It's a double dip with Collision Rampage back-to-back. We got the Trios Tag Team match opening it up. Edge, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus Action Andretti and Dante and Darius Martin. Yeah, it's the Martin brothers, Dante and Darius, yeah. All 6 men hitting lariats at the same time. All 6 men are down. Spinning back fist spear and the Froggy Bow combo. Eddie Kingston pins and the good guys pick up the W. Good opening trios match. Slow build to a nice crescendo with fast-paced offense. Kingston throwing bombs out there. Briscoe entertaining sound effects throughout the match. Edge, solid veteran performance. Young Guns, quality selling. Athletic, of course, with top flight. 7 out of 10. Good stuff. The lights go out. A message from House of Black to Edge and friends. Playing some mind games before Dynasty. We have Powerhouse Hobbs versus CJ Esparza. Hobbs torture rack grabs a quick W by submission. Just a tune-up squash match here for Hobbs. I fucking hate these squash matches, man. Don Callis cuts a promo. Crowd boos the shit out of him. Callis announcing Moxley's IWGP Championship will be on the line next Wednesday versus Powerhouse Hobbs. All right. Apparently that's the first time that's ever happened. And yeah, that makes sense. It's not their championship, so yeah. Chris Jericho gonna teach Hook life lessons under the learning tree of Jericho at Dynasty. Not the cleanest promo here from Chris, throwing in a lot of uhs and ums and stuff. Just, again, this fucking little rivalry thing here, just not going well at all. Everything has just not been good. We got the Bang Bang Gang Ass Boys with Jay White versus the acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with a daddy ass. We get I really like Bullet Club's entrance with the panning camera around them. Also, their entrance theme is awesome. Very catchy, just good stuff. And we get the best rap in a while from Max Caster. That was a good one, made me giggle. And he finished it. That was good. Bowens accidentally knocks Caster to the floor. Guns hold onto White's bat for extra leverage. Ass Boys stealing the W. Pretty alright match. Ass Boys getting away with a lot of shenanigans throughout. Daddy Ass not impressed about it. Bryan Danielson getting interviewed backstage says Don Callis' family is up to no good and potentially Will Ospreay is involved? Oh no. Ospreay appears, tells Bryan, I got nothing to do with it, bruv. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We move on. Toni Storm backstage, still with lipstick all over her face from Thunder Rosa's attack. Toni delivers a quick, entertaining, theatric promo. We move on to the Bunkhouse Brawl tag team match. Claudio and Bryan Danielson versus Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Shida and Kyle sneak attack before the bell, and the brawl is on. Kyle Fletcher is just terrifying this young little girl in the crowd, beating the ever-living shit of Danielson right in front of her. She's just like, she could barely watch. Fucking hilarious, traumatizing a child. Thumbs up. Bryan is choking and dragging Kyle around with a cable, dragging him by his neck. Kyle Fletcher has a powder bomb. He throws it at Claudio and misses completely. Oh dear. The BCC stereo elbow strikes and cross faces. Hobbs interferes. Out comes Moxley. Ain't having that shit. The brawl with Hobbs begins. Danielson nails a counter Hurricanrana onto the steel chair for Takeshita. How you doing? Thumbs up for that. Claudio chained wrapped lariat to Kyle. Bryan's psycho knee locks Fletcher in the label lock using the steel chain. Kyle immediately taps out in the BCC win. Great bloody brawl all over the place, my goodness. Big bumps before a pay-per-view. We'll see if that pays off. 8 out of 10, that was a great brawl. Danielson cuts a promo, tells us why he had a match like that before the pay-per-view. It's because Danielson is an animal. Bryan fired up, says he will kick Ospreay's ass at Dynasty. Yeah, good shit right there from Danielson. We get Willow Nightingale. She cuts a quick fired up promo. She's going to take out that bitch, Julia Hart, for the TBS title at Dynasty. Good quick promo for Willow. We get Sky Blue with Julia Hart versus Layla Hirsch up next. Blue boots Layla in the face right out of the gate. How you doing? Hirsch, cool rotating avalanche German suplex thingy. That was cool. Blue TKO into a dragon sleeper. Layla taps. Sky Blue impressive W. Solid match. Blue aggressive, catching Layla off guard. A little spark there from Hirsch late in the match. Some nice suplexes. Not bad. We move on. Trios tag team match. EVPs, Young Bucks, Matthew, Nicholas Jackson, and Okada versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax, and Pac. Pac, nice dive, takes out the Bucks, and then hits a spike pile driver on Okada with Dax. Nice trios offense from FTR and Pac, while the Bucks accidentally hit each other again numerous times. Bucks Shatter Machine and EVP Trigger, there you go, on Pac. FTR make the save, hit a Shatter Machine of their own. Pac Red Arrow on Matt, and they pick up the W. Really good, really long main event. Okada took a beating. His body was mangled. Oh my god, his chest, his shoulders, his whole body just covered in welts and bruises. Stiff match, to say the least. Pockets of crazy trio action thrown in there. Just a little bit too long. 7.5 out of 10. Elite attack FTR and Pac after the bell. Garcia to the rescue. FTR and Pac beat down Okada. Solid go-home show before the pay-per-view. Lots of wrestlers on the pay-per-view wrestling hard matches. A day before the pay-per-view. Risky business. The bunkhouse match and main event were rather stiff. Mostly good wrestling. Hobbs squash match can go fuck itself. I just can't. What was the point of that even? You should have just had the promo. Like, what is that? Hook and Jericho thing, not feeling that either. Show honestly felt like it dragged on quite a bit. 6 out of 10. It was an alright collision. And then we slide into Rampage. We get, what do we get? Oh my god, we got the high-flying 420 four-way eliminator match because this happened on 420, so there you go, smoke it up and stuff. RVD is in this match because of course, versus Isaiah Cassidy versus Lee Johnson versus Commander. Isaiah imitating RVD, very entertaining. Cassidy roll up, grabbing the tights of Johnson, and Lee Johnson is out. That's kind of sucky. Awesome leaping springboard moonsault by Commander, walks the ropes into a shooting star press and eliminates Cassidy. My goodness, that was beautiful. Thumbs up. Rob and Commander trade fast counters and pinfall attempts. RVD nails the 5-star frog splash, and RVD wins the 420 eliminator because of course he does. Crowd giving RVD tons of love throughout this match. Rob taking victory laps that he stops and does the poses and stuff, and everyone just lets him do it because he's awesome. Thumbs up. Rob was awesome throughout the match, pulling out the classics. He looked great. Isaiah was hilarious, and Commander, great high flying. Feel bad for Lee Johnson. He barely got anything in this before he got eliminated, but a fun holiday theme match. 7.5 out of 10. We move on to Yuka Sakazaki versus Emi Sakurai. Yuka, nasty fall to the floor. She tweaks something. I don't know what it was. Her hip, something lower body by the look of it. Emi covers really nicely while Yuka tries to walk off the injury. Emi is taunting Yuka, gets caught off guard. Yuka nails an in-rope German suplex thing, and Yuka grabs the W. Damn, okay, so really good recovery there from Emi while Yuka was recovering. Like, Emi playing with toys, being goofy with the cameraman. Like, yeah, good job there. Match didn't last long after Yuka tweaked whatever it was. It happened like second or third move, so match wasn't very much, but really good job recovering and a resilient performance for Yuka. Like, she was running around getting her leg back going, and the crowd, like, started cheering for her, so really well done, really well done. We get a Rampage exclusive, everybody. This is exclusive only to Rampage because it is so freaking awesome and exclusive. Angelo Paca and Ruby Soho, it's their segment. Ruby has big news for Paca. Ruby's pregnant. Oh no. The crowd explodes, and there we go. Finally, a decent moment for Ruby and Angelo Paca. Thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs up. Main event time, trios tag team match. If I get another fucking trios tag team match, I swear to God I'm going to snap. Trios tag, Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong, Taven and Bennett versus Kyle O'Reilly, Matt Menard, and Rocky Romero. Kyle O'Reilly going beast mode. He's taking out each member of the Kingdom all by himself. Roddy and Kyle beating the shit out of each other. Armbar locked in by Kyle. Roddy taps, but he is not the legal man anymore. Bennett comes in, gets tapped out by Kyle O'Reilly's armbar, and the good guys win. Slow trios match until Kyle got in there. We get a little preview of O'Reilly versus Strong. It is an alright match, just goddamn exhausted with all these trio matches. An acceptable Rampage this week. We got the opening RVD 420 themed match. That was dope. Yuka and Emi get a pass for injury and covering nicely for that. Ruby and Parker finally have a memorable moment. And the main event, very standard go-home tag team match. Nothing special there. 6 out of 10 for Rampage. And let's do the 3 stars of the week. I'll kick it off with one shout-out. I'll shout out the Bunkhouse Brawl match on Collision. That was a lot of fun. And just Danielson being an absolute animal, he's going to have a very stiff match the next day. So now for the official 3 stars of the week. 3rd star goes to Javon Evans versus Dragunov on NXT. That little open challenge match was awesome. Javon showing off what he is all about. He's like 19 years old, stupid athletic. He's got like a rubber body, just taking ridiculous bumps and selling. Hell yeah. And he had a competitive match against Dragunov making him look good, but also picking up the win. Hell yeah, good enough for the 3rd star. 2nd star goes to Claudio versus Will Ospreay on Dynamite. I mean, it's Will Ospreay. Dude's gonna have a banger with anything. And Claudio, a very good opponent for him. Lots of strength and counters. Like, oh man, they mixed together so freaking good, man. That was a awesome match. Good enough for the 2nd star, but the 1st star goes to the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match on SmackDown. Oh my goodness. I was so disappointed that it wasn't actually a Fatal 4-Way, but they covered with just chaotic action nonstop. All 4 teams looking awesome. Again, highlighting how good the tag team division is right now in the WWE. Banger of the match, good enough for the 1st star this week. And that's the recap, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I will have the Dynasty pay-per-view review out later on. Separate episode for that. Other than that, you can go back and check out this week's GamerCast episode. It was on Fallout 3, one of my favorite games of all time. So going back to memory lane with Fallout. Fallout's all the rage right now with the TV show and everything, so figured might as well cash in on the Fallout craze right now and talk about some Fallout. Really fun episode right there. And now the NHL playoffs have officially begun. Last episode I did most of my playoff predictions. I'll finish off the final 2 matchups that weren't set yet this week, and of course we're going to be talking about the playoffs and all that crazy shit. So that's going to be going on this week on the GX Plus cast. Make sure you're sticking around. You can follow along on Twitter. There's a YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos, where I upload all of these episodes. You can go over there and watch them. Great place to drop a comment. You have a question, for the podcast you'd like it answered, I will answer it live on the podcast. Just drop a comment, email, Twitter message, doesn't matter. Wrestling, video games, hockey, send in your questions. I would love to answer it, shout you out, all that good stuff. And if you want to have a private conversation, there is an email address there for you as well in the description. There you go, everybody. Another episode of the GXWrestleCast. And make sure you're sticking around. Hit that like button, review the podcast, help out the little guy over here. And we'll be back again with some more GX Plus Cast.